Welcome to another episode of A Brother with Questions. I am your guy, B. Period, man. Thank y'all for joining me again, man. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We are aiming to grow, man. We're trying to grow, keep growing, get our views up, man. I appreciate y'all for listening and subscribing. Make sure you go check out our TikTok, our Instagram, our Facebook. Everything, everywhere is always A Brother with Questions. Ooh, for tonight, I got another one for you. So as we all watched last week, we watched Mitch McConnell for a second time now. Seemingly, no, well, not seemingly. We saw him zone out for or in mid-interview twice now. Okay? And so that kind of sparked me. I was like, my goodness. I feel bad for the man. I am personally not here to witness anybody's health downfall by any stretch of the imagination. So this is not a celebratory video. But I did go, and it made me go like, well, my goodness. So my first question was, how old is Mitch McConnell? That was my first question. So I went and did a little research on my man Mitch, and to find out how old he was. Oh, man. And so I found out he was 80. And so at that point, I was like, okay, why is this 80-year-old man still serving in Congress? Like, I know he's from Kentucky, but you telling me I don't know how many people live in Kentucky, but you figure it's a few million. He is the best candidate to represent the state? like there's gotta be some other people out here, right? And so then I did some further research and I started looking at the other members of the Senate, and I was blown away by the average age of the Senate today. The average age of the Senate is 64. And I looked at this number and I said to myself, are you kidding me? Now, I don't have nothing against, being 64. I hope to be gracefully 64, 65, 7, 8, 9, 78, all of that, right? So I'm not knocking the age, but I'm thinking that to myself, at what point do you go, you know what? I think I'm going to sit down. Because I'm thinking about the average American, right? Most Americans are doing their best to get to about, some of us 62, other of us are 65, some 67, right? And we're trying to get to these places and then basically sit down and try and start enjoying our life. Whatever that is, right? If we're lucky, right? Some of us do have, unfortunately, we're living in an age where we're seeing older and older people have to go back to work. But in a perfect world, by the time we hit 65, 67, most of us are trying to live a life where we can do whatever we want. Some of us travel, some of us sit at the house and watch and sit on the porch and watch the people go by, right? And so I'm looking at the number and I'm going, what in the world is going on that the people in the Senate are like, nah, I don't think I'm going to go back to the Senate. And so it made me start having this conversation about term limits. Man, why don't we have term limits? Why is it that we cannot get a Congress and or a president that will actually push for term limits? Why do we have people like a Mitch McConnell who's been in government almost 30 years? This man's been in government longer than I've been legally working. Why? Why do people keep sending the same folks back? Why don't we have a Congress that's bold enough to be like, president can only serve 2 terms. Most governors can only serve 2 terms. I should only be able to go to the Senate and be there. Let's say, let me give you more than 2, right? You say, I can't do enough in 2. But can we put a cap at least at 3? So that we can get some of these people out? I mean, I want Mitch to go enjoy 80. Because I'm sorry. And the way it's going, you're going to be in the Senate for, probably another couple of years? Like, what kind of life is that? For an 80-year-old man to be zoning out in the middle of a national press conference? Like, that's not a life. And then I feel bad for the constituents. You got a candidate or a senator who's representing your state who's not even there apparently all the time. Because you know if he's doing it in front of the cameras, you gotta know he's doing it behind the scenes. And again, I'm not here to knock him, but why are we not trying to get this man and settle down? I mean, the average senator makes almost $200,000 a year. He's been doing that almost 20 years. You telling me he got a nest egg somewhere where he can go sit back and chill? But then, like I said, it's not even him. Crazy as it might be, he's not even the oldest senator. He's 80 and he's not the oldest senator. We got Charles Grassley of Iowa, and we got Dianne Feinstein of California, who are both 89. 89. Still serving in Congress. Are you kidding me? Again, no disrespect. I hope to make 89 too one day. But you know I won't be? I will not be in Washington, D.C. for however long they serve, because I can't remember how long not the term. I know the term is 6 years for a senator, but obviously they're not meeting consistently throughout the year, so I can't remember how often they're meeting throughout the year. But seriously, do I want to be in Congress? In the Senate arguing over some bills with a bunch of other people who are only going to stand on their pedestals, and we just going to yell back and forth. It's the Democrat fault. It's the Republican fault. If the Democrats would just listen to it, we could do so much. If the Republicans just listen to it, we could do so. At 89? Are you kidding me? It's like saying I'm going to be talking to y'all at 89. You know what I'm not going to be doing? Talking to y'all at 89. At 89, I hopefully, Lord willing, I'm gonna be on a yacht somewhere, enjoying the breeze as it blow by my nose. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? What is going on in this country that these are the quote unquote great minds of our country? The great minds of our country are 89. 80, 79. I mean, I looked. There are about 55 senators who are 65 or older. That's the majority of them are 65 or older. The majority of the country is trying to find a way to sit down somewhere and enjoy the rest of their life. These people fighting to go back and collect these $200,000 checks and sit back and go, this is the Republican fault. This is the Democrats' fault. We tried, but they won't let us. They blocking all our bills. What? We need to make some real changes in this country. We need to seriously look at and put people in place. That's the thing, man. When you send the same people back for 30 years, why do you really expect different results? Why do we expect different results? Isn't that the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results? What are we doing? Why are we so afraid to send some young people up there? And by young, I'm talking younger than 65 at this point. I mean, my goodness. Can we just get a 50-year-old up there? I mean, there's most 65 and older than there is 50. If you look at the numbers, there's only, let's see how many 50-year-olds we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So about 22. So we got about 22 people who are at least 50 to 60. But we got 55 people who are 65 and older. Are you kidding me? Get out of here, man. What are we doing? Can we elect some people who are going to be honest with themselves and put up term limits? Elect a president who's going to support the idea and push for it through whatever party he represents of term limits so that we can get some turnover in a place where we need discussions going on that might actually lead to change? And can we get off the hamster wheel of insanity? Sending the same folks over and over and over and over and over again and expecting them to do something different for us. Because honestly, if we go back 30 years, because half of the people that are here now have been there about 30 years. Then there's another crew who's been there a good 15. So we're really dealing with almost the same people in the last 15, 30 years. Every now and then we get a sprinkles of some news, right? We get like an AOC in there, right? We get a Ilhan Omar in there, right? We get some new sprinkles, right? But for the most part, we keep doing the same thing. That's one of the things that I know that I'm looking forward to, and one of the reasons why I want a new president. It's one of the reasons why Vivek Ramaswamy is one of my favorite candidates right now, because he's one of the few candidates that is actually advocating for this idea that there should be a limit on the time frame that people are in Washington. You're not supposed to be there forever. Even the founders, right? These great men who created the Constitution, right? They never designed it for you to be there forever. Now, they didn't think anybody was going to want to be in Congress for 30 years, because they didn't imagine one day you'd be making $200,000 as a senator, and over a 30-year period, you could become a millionaire. They never thought about that. But that's where we are. Because I'm sorry, if you've been in Congress 30 years and you're not a millionaire, then you're doing something wrong anyway. The connections you made in 30 years. I mean, if you just look at your salary, you've made almost $6 million, $5 million in salary. You're getting comped half of the places you go. You ain't saving that money. So to me, watching him is sad, but it's also a reminder. It's a reminder why we don't need Joe Biden back. It's a reminder why, quite frankly, in my opinion, there's got to be some other options besides Donald Trump, because he's about 80 himself. And it's a reminder that we need to move on from half of the people in the Senate, because can we get some new conversations? We're in a digital age. You can't tell me that at 89, Charles Grassley is adept at the internet age that we live in and the problems that we face today as it relates to the internet. You can't convince me that at 89, he's still the best guy to have these conversations. He's still the best guy to bring these arguments to the table. Because there's a change that's happening in this country that he didn't even realize was coming. So, hey man, I'm here to advocate on behalf of Mitch. I hope whatever is going on with Mr. McConnell, he works that thing out. And I hope he realizes that it might be time to sit down and enjoy the rest of his life. I'd imagine he's got grandkids. He might even have great grandkids at the age of 80. I hope he goes and enjoys them. But I also hope that we wake up and we push for what we need and actually send people who are going to give us that. And we need term limits in Congress. Just like we got term limits for president, just like we got term limits for governor, we need term limits in Congress. It should not be a job that you do for 40 years. That's longer than most people are going to be on their job right now. And you collect a check. Good check. And accomplish nothing. I'm done, man. I'm your guy, B period, man. Once again, man, I thank y'all for listening. Please like, subscribe to the channel, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Until next time, y'all, I'm out. B period, man.